if people do not, that are watching the videos and come to the same conclusion that has come from the research, at least that I've done, and I'm not there to say, hey, I'm God on this, nothing to do with that, but there's nothing to lead you to any other conclusion other than refusing to hear what I'm saying. Legal rights are conditional, they're not absolute. What a nation that says I'm going to grant you rights, they can take them away. So the guys running this are running this human rights nonsense, and therefore those human rights are granted. They're not absolute, and that's why they come up with this Section 33 of the Canadian Charter of Rights and Freedoms. They call it the notwithstanding clause because that means they can interfere with your rights. Because in reality, I think the joke is really on those who don't see this. As I told you, that there's a joker document in legal which implies that the document is directing someone down a path to believe that it's something that it's not. This document is not a go-ahead document that they're actually granting you the title. They're actually not conveying you the title because in Canada there's no right to bear arms. And arms go back to armorial bearings and go back to surnames and everything else that's involved in this. And because of at least the conditions in Canada and the case of Montague versus Regina, which had to do with firearms, but you don't get a firearm without a surname anyway, so there's no point sending me nonsense emails that say, well, that was only dealing with firearms. Try to get a firearm without a surname. So it stated clearly that there is no right to bear arms in Canada, and it's nothing more than something that's allowed to be granted by privilege or license, but it is not a right. So basically in this situation, when we look at this, the very title everybody's thinking they're walking around with, holding property and registration under the legal surname, which is the only thing legal in the title, that only comes upon those that have been deceived into assuming and taking it on. We're not supposed to be conformed to the world as believers, so therefore we wouldn't take on any assignments because, as Paul said, what concord does Christ have with Belial or Satan? So you wouldn't be involved in something that's associated with that. So Section 33, the notwithstanding clause, really indicates you don't have any standing. And that's why they can interfere with these rights. So remember, legal rights are conditional, not absolute. You don't have any absolute rights.